Good morning. Happy Friday.
Good morning,
Morning.
everyone.
How's it
Hello.
going? How's it going, Ninja Surprise, Farmer Michelle?
Good. Was a good
It's
week.
going.
Going. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. This is our town hall, our AMA for Common Drowned World. It's Friday, December 8th. And we've been doing this about a year and a half now, every week. There is a YouTube stream, so if you are watching it there, make sure you like it and subscribe it and turn on notifications. And that way, if you love it, share it with your friends. And yeah, let's see who is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning. We got Paraman, Stan, hello Stan, PD Renee, Dash Riprock, back at it, Billy TSM, Vulture saying hi. How's it going, everybody? Edie Lugs, which I always want to mispronounce as eating slugs. Yuck.
Slugs.
Hey, Terra Mesa, CGN, Jim. Well, got some headlines this morning. Farm Michelle, do you want to talk about any cool things Gala might have done this
Yeah,
week?
we got another game launched, Eternal Paradox.
What?
That happened this week.
Gala launched another game?
We did.
Amazing. It is so cool. Hope everybody's playing it.
Yeah, definitely give it a try
Absolutely.
if you haven't.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun from what I heard.
Yeah, that's awesome. So fun. Well, let's see. What do you say we jump right into our headlines on our work in progress stuff for this game?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, y'all been asking for a roadmap. We will provide some visuals at some point, but I'll give you the next 3/4's worth of info. For the rest of this year, we're wrapping up some of our prior promises, fixing bugs, and preparing some of the underlying tech for what's going to be coming in Q1, Q2, Q3 of next year. And it's pretty exciting. The first quarter, you guys are going to see the guilds work. We are going to be able to create and join, invite, manage the members, all that fun stuff. And the leader of the guild is going to be able to put the leader's NFTs into the guild library. There were a couple questions about, when am I going to be able to use somebody else's NFTs? And this will be in the guild library. That's coming in Q1. We're targeting mid March. I'm hoping to get it out sooner, but it's a lot of UIs, a lot of features. So keep in mind on this feature that it's not a chain operation. The guild library. I mentioned that 2 AMAs ago. It's a pure game database thing, so there won't be any transaction fees. There won't be any allowances required. No transfer code, none of that. It's just a pure game database thing. So free and easy and quick to use inside the game. Let's see. After that, oh yeah, daily challenges. Who remembers those? And everybody's been
I
hungry
remember
for that.
those.
You remember those? Did you beat every single daily challenge forever when they were live?
They were pretty easy when we had daily challenges before. I think they were
Aw.
just like get 100 stars every day.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the new daily challenges. They look super fun.
Yeah, I love what the game designers, the Wild Moopsy and Musashi, have come up for it. It's not just going to be stars necessarily. There are going to be. Oh, thanks, Farm Michelle, for pasting that. So there are
Got
going to
you.
be different criteria for those daily challenges. I don't want to Tom Holland it up here too much, but it's good. It's a very straightforward feature. It's relied on a bit of tech that is coming together now. And also, I know you guys keep asking SageMaker all the time when you can about win earnings. There's a lot behind that, so it'll be very exciting to see that Q2 2024. And then after that, upgradable NFTs. Now we did proof of concept on this already, and I was pretty happy with the results. So the big questions have been answered. Now it's just a matter of making sure that bridging works. The whole point of upgrading is you want to take your level, let's say 20, building out to whatever exchanges you might like, maybe give it to a friend, and you want to preserve that metadata, right? You worked hard for it, so let's keep it. And I don't know. I love the XP grind, so looking forward to that as well. And then, just as a detail, anybody who's into nodes, Gala, one of our super brilliant internal teams, has been converting nodes to not just be a license, but to represent that as an NFT. And that way they'll be, do all the great things you can do with NFTs. So transferable, whatever you want to do. So that's not our team, but the team working on it has been making a lot of progress. And I'm excited to see where that goes. And that's it for the current game. Headline work in progress. What's up with rewards, Michelle?
We got most. I think all the rewards went out this week. Just yesterday, the ones from last week's event. I think the Zely rewards also went out, and the glass storages, which won't be in the game until this next update today. But everybody should have gotten them. In case you didn't know what they were, they're glass storages. I know I put a leak up on Wednesday with some art of what they looked like.
Thanks.
Those are gonna hold glass bottles, molten glass, and light bulbs for now, and potentially some other stuff in the future if there's some other glass stuff that comes around.
Trying to think of a pun about light bulbs, but it's all dim in my head this morning. What about social media there, Mr. Ninja?
I thought you would never ask. Yeah, so a couple of updates here for social media. The marketing video is moving along. We just got version 2 of that. Pretty exciting stuff. It's really coming along nicely. I'm really happy to see the quality of it. But we're going to be making it even better. So we're going to be hammering down a couple of minor details, getting some in-house voice acting for it, because like, why would you want to have like an AI voice for this? It's we want to make it really nice, really unique. So that's going to be coming, and it's hopefully soon. It's on. So far, it's been making pretty good progress. The production team's just been swamped with so much stuff happening here at Gala, but they've been finding the time to do some video content for us here at Common Ground. So it's awesome to see that. Other than that, as Farmer Michelle mentioned, the Zely rewards went out. If you were not sure what last month's reward is, it's the Super Chicken. So you guys are going to be receiving the Super Chicken for participating in creating content and really supporting the Common Ground World name. And yeah, if you guys still haven't jumped over to Zealy yet, be sure to check it out. We have monthly rewards, and sometimes we change stuff up a little bit. So yeah, be sure to check it out, and just have fun creating content and all for it. I know I just put up one quest that was for creating fan art, and we've had a couple of submissions so far. Definitely would like to see some more of those if you guys have some artistic abilities. So be sure to just showcase what you can do, and yeah, check out what else we got on the board. And yeah, that's all from me for the social media side.
Hey, I had a question about that. What kind of fan
Yes.
art do you want?
Well, it could really be. I was really looking for something that, if anybody had, had the abilities to create something on their own, it could be like I mean, hey, if you really wanted to just break out like a pencil and paper and just draw something, or if you guys really wanted to go full on and hardcore with this, and if you wanted to break out a painting, I mean, hell, go for it. And if you wanted to do like a portrait, like a Picasso portrait of a Common Ground world, I mean, hey, that would be awesome. I give you like a million Zely points for that, but but like, really, if you guys just wanted to just grab what you could online of just some graphics and just piece something together. We've seen some people piecing stuff together. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to just seeing what sort of creativity comes from it. I just don't want to see anybody just copy pasting an existing image, because I have seen some people trying to trick the admins over at the Zely board by just copy pasting certain images in that are already existing out there on social media, or that actually we own. So I already know what images we own. So yeah, those are probably not going to fly. But yeah, just anything that Anything that you could just create yourself, I would definitely approve. But yeah, I just saw what you just tagged me with in the Discord here. That would definitely, I mean, that would be okay.
Really?
If you explained to me what it was for, if you did like a side by side comparison, for
Oh, okay.
example, so I understood what it was, then yeah, that would actually definitely work.
Oh,
But
I
yeah,
was just
if you're going to
horsing
use some
around.
photo, if you're going to use some photo real stuff, yeah, upscaling it with ChatGTP. But I could see the relation there, and I mean, I could kind of see, not just that, not just that, but if you actually wanted to step further and say use some other AI tools to make like a AI video, like a short AI video there, that would be really impressive also.
Interesting. Okay, so it's not just Super Chicken, it's anything Common Ground World related?
Anything Common Ground World, yeah. For the fan art
Oh,
submission, yeah, anything Common Ground World
okay.
could work. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
allowing for a lot of creativity here.
Interesting. Okay. I probably wouldn't do just generated, but that's pretty fascinating. Okay. Thanks, ninjas.
No
I
probs.
I
absolutely love
pluralized
that
you.
pink farmer. He is
Isn't he
adorable.
cool? Like Nicole. um, awesome. Okay. Well, that's fun. Well, let's scoot on down to game updates. I have some features and some fixes to talk about. Uh, anything before that, Michelle, or I jump straight into that?
Nah, go for it.
All right. Yeah, so there's 4 things I want to talk about for features. First is going to sound maybe strange to you guys, or maybe not strange. Whenever I talk about backend, I don't know who's really getting it or who cares, but we're adding something that we're calling matchmaking tech. And that doesn't mean there's going to be a UI or anything. What this means is this is our server logic to route when you open your browser or you go to Gala Games, you pick Townstar, you hit play. Between there and the time that you're looking at your beautiful town, at some point, network magic happens and you're connected to one of our servers. And right now, due to Kubernetes and whatever, it's pretty annoying the way it's routed. It's not optimal. So we have way more servers than we need right now, and we could be using that money for other things. So um, yeah, so one of our very smart backend guys did a proof of concept for what some people would call, yes, Jetty, PvP, for what some people would call matchmaking. And it's basically where you stick like with like, and you stuff people onto occupied servers first, so the empty servers can be shut off because they're not being used, right? Uh, NFT madness. No, I was kidding about PvP. We've asked over the months. Nobody wants PvP in this game. But anyway, yeah, so basically it's V1 just to reduce our server costs, and V2 would support more interesting things like, well, just let your imagination run wild. Why would we call it matchmaking? I don't know. Next would be network improvements. This is going through QA right now. This is some of the weird bugs that you guys run into every now and then that nobody seems to be able to reproduce. Looks like it was a one-off. You're told like, oh, just refresh or cache, whatever. Some of that in our logs, we can see what's triggering it, and it's a networking issue, and it can affect. Well, it can have all sorts of weird effects. So that's being fixed and tested in QA right now. And after that, course guilds, I was talking about during our upcoming features. It's a big project, lots of microservices, lots of database tables, relations, all that. And we need some new game features. For example, when you're inside the game, you don't want to leave the game to manage your guild, right? It's all going to be in game. And you need the ability to search for other players, right? By name. You need the ability to manage it, kick people out, all that. So that's on the way. And then I can't leak this stuff, but we have Common Ground art, channels where the artists share their art in progress. And the upcoming stuff looks so cool, you guys. Like it's so cool. Uh anyway, that's leaks. I'm gonna jump straight into fixes. Any big questions other than that so far, you guys? For Michelle.
I haven't seen any questions, no.
Okay. Alrighty. So yeah. So I know normally like in our weeklies are like, here's 50 features we worked on, whatever. But we're all heads down on these massive long-term features right now. So we're focusing on the live stuff, any data bugs, things like that. And speaking of which, fixes right now, this week or past week should be coming out today. There were some visual and audio problems. There was Z fighting. If you guys know what that is. Z fighting. It's like when one model in a game is just too perfectly aligned with another, and their textures will kind of blip back and forth. Kind of looks like a cheese grater. There were some environmental effects on crafts when your entity's not active. So if you had no craft selected, there'd still be some environmental effects. That's been fixed. Some minor things like wizard building, tower sizes, stuff like that. Some sounds were missing. And RCH, no. There is no update about TradeBot. PD Renee, I think that Farm Michelle's answered your questions a couple times. So make room in chat there visually for other people there. So
Yep.
gameplay bug fixes this week. There were some building placement bugs. So for example, if there was a building that had road requirements, in some cases you just couldn't place that building. So that's been fixed. And if a storage was inactive due to that storage not being near a road, like you built it, then you took away the road or whatever, workers were able to access and use that storage still. So that was an ugly bug, and that's been fixed. And there are various data fixes, right? Like delivering and picking things up and all that. Last one fixed over last week that I want to mention is that there was a lack of a spawn special fix that was causing exception to be thrown. Shouldn't have impacted anybody, but it's been fixed. But it might have messed with some people's FPS. So if over the past 2 to 3 weeks suddenly your game was running on a lower FPS, look for after our next release. Look for that to improve. All right. Well, how about upcoming content, Farmer Michelle? What's happening?
Let's see. We don't have any new crafts or anything coming into the game this next week. We are doing another old craft again. So we're trying to do like 2 old crafts and then 2 new crafts. So we'll talk about that when we get closer to the end of the AMA. The only other new thing that's coming into the game this week for content is the NFT that's going on sale today. That's the gingerbread house, which we will also talk about later. I think it's already been minted, so people have probably already seen what it looks like. But next week, the week after this next competition, there's going to be a bunch of core changes. We're going to change some craft requirements. There's going to be a lot of stuff. So I'll start leaking those early next week once we get into it. But it's too early to do it now. So we're not going to talk any further about it yet. But there are a bunch of changes coming to craft requirements and core value changes.
Okay.
That's all I've got for that.
Alrighty. Well, I see in our Q&A, we have one of our Discord citizens is kind of asking the same question over and over, which is the first question that you've already answered here in the Q&A. Do you want to verbally address that a little bit? About bridging costs, etc.?
I'm not really sure what I could say about bridging costs. They're dynamic now. There was a global announcement yesterday for all the different changes from Bitbender. We don't set that kind of stuff on the Common Ground team specifically. So there's not a lot we have to do with it.
Okay.
You can, if you do have a bunch of questions, you can ask Bitbender on ahead of the game. He's got a lot more information than we do. So you could talk to him.
Okay. Yeah, that's not really our game team thing, guys. So we have provided that feedback. We hear you. Yes, thank you, Dash. There's a live question from Moise. Where is the Zell thing at?
Do you mean Zely?
Maybe that is the Zeely thing.
I know that's not how it's spelled, but that might be what you mean. If you mean the website, we'll see if Ninja Surprise can pop that up in there. I'm sure he's got it handy. I don't have it handy.
He wants the link to the Zeely quest board.
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah, I could send them it right now. I'll just pop it into the Discord. It's Discord, right? He's asking this on Discord.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll send that right now.
Cool. Okay. Let's see. Next question. I think this one's maybe from Michelle to answer. I'll read the question. What are our plans for the marketplace on GalaChain? Will OpenSea be able to allow the sell and buy using GalaChain infrastructure instead of the very expensive?
Again, that's not really a question for the Common Ground team. We don't have a lot to do with like GalaChain or a marketplace or OpenSea. I mean, we definitely do not own OpenSea. They are their own entire company. They can do whatever they'd like to do. If they want to use GalaChain, they can use GalaChain. If they don't, then they won't. But there's not a lot we can do, especially being on the Common Ground team. I haven't heard anything about OpenSea using GalaChain. Right now, I believe they just use the Ethereum network, and there are plenty of other networks that also have NFTs on them. So, but they only use the Ethereum network. So it's pretty likely that they'll stick with just the Ethereum network. But again, I don't work for OpenSea, so I don't know what their
That's
plans are
right.
for the future.
Yeah.
And yeah, for the marketplace on GalaChain, I know that Bitbenders talked about it before and ahead of the game. There's a community member who's building some kind of rental marketplace. But that would also be your best place to ask. You can also, if you go up to like the Gala Gold channel, if you've got a Gala Gold membership, there's a lot of people that talk more about those kinds of things there. It's more of a general chat than just a Common Ground world chat.
Mm.
So that's a good place to ask those kind of questions.
Okay.
All right, what's our next question?
Next one is, are you going to give the possibility of obtaining passive income with Common Ground World mode?
The
Passive.
game never had passive income before, and it will not have passive income now. You will always still have to do like daily challenges or tasks or complete, events. It's not going to be passive income just for owning an NFT. That was never the plan. So I guess to answer your question, no, there won't be passive income. You will be able to earn from your NFTs again, similar to the way you could previously before we decided to switch over the economy and try to fix it up, make it better.
Yeah,
but you
and
will
I
have to
believe
do tasks in order to do that.
Yeah, and it's going to be roughly the same as before. This isn't final, but for anybody who was here, when you had town points and everything, we're going to do roughly the same thing, right? So you have a calculation for the town points you'll earn for that day's challenge based on the NFTs that you have in your town, if they're earning NFTs, right? And you'll see it right there in the game. Next question. What was the daily login and the play NFT for the month of November? And when receive?
Oh man, I could have removed this whole question from the list. That all already happened since yesterday when I added it to the list. If you're looking for art for it, it's in the announcement channel. That's the glass storage, as I said earlier today. It holds glass bottles, molten glass, and lights for now. I'm sure that there will be other glass things in the future, and they will also go in the glass storage. It's a nice little modern glass building made specifically for fragile glass items. I like the way the art looks a lot. I think it's very pretty.
It's so cool. Man, and just doing a bit of a throwback to the Common Ground Academy, I love the shine on that geodesic dome, the reflections on the window and the glass and everything. It's so pretty. Okay, next question. Let's see. I think we're still waiting for confirmation on number 5 there, so I'm going to skip it. That's all right with you, Michelle.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Next one is lending NFTs in Common Ground World. Well, so we're going to have the guild library first, and that won't cost you anything to use other than the cost of the NFT to own it. There won't be any chain transactions to put things in the guild library. It's purely game database. It remains your property even when you put it in the guild library. But your teammates will be able to, your guildmates will be able to borrow it, which means nobody can use that NFT except the person who has it checked out from the library. So think about just like a physical library. one book per NFT instance. And that will be what I believe this question was addressing. Will there be lending NFTs? They might have been asking, will there be NFTs specifically for lending? If that was the question, if that was what you meant, answer is no. We're going to make all non-fungible NFTs lendable. So probably bot parts will not be in the library because you could fuse those, eventually to create things. But any NFT to use just to place in your town, those will be available there. So, hope that answers it. Last question is about the Lightpaper. Quite a
It's a
long
long
question
one.
there. Yeah.
We'll just read the beginning. When will the Lightpaper be out?
Okay.
And then when we did the read through, Bitbender did the read through, was it, gosh, like a month ago now, maybe a month and a half. We had said that was just the initial version. It didn't have any numbers. It wasn't going to have any numbers. We said that we were reading through that version to get feedback from the community so that we could iterate on it and come up with a more finalized one with the numbers. And even after we do get the numbers for like the first iteration of the Lightpaper and get that shared out, it will probably still change a couple more times until we get finalized numbers. Once we have the first version with a more specific tokenomics plan, that will be shared out to the community. But again, it will probably still iterate and change a couple more times before we get to a final resting place for it. That'll probably also kind of soft launch, if you will, with the DIRT token before any other actual tokens launch, since DIRT is just a soft token. And I think that's all I had to say. But yeah, the whole purpose of that first read through was to get feedback. So right now what we're doing is taking that feedback that we got from that read through and processing it and, altering the contents of the Lightpaper properly so that all of the comments and feedback and questions are answered in there.
Okay.
Hopefully that answers the question.
Okay. There is looks like 4 and then even more coming in live questions as well. First one, Billy. Any updates on items getting lost in the game? Hoping to hear about that. Yeah, we fixed provided some links earlier in the chat when you asked that, but yeah, there's some fixes going out to storage and to workers, like what they pick up, what they deliver. That's going out today. So, and I have asked the team as well, like specifically your question. So we will see about that if they answer it while the AMA is live. We'll see. Let's see. Number 2. Question regarding daily challenges. What is your time investment to complete daily challenges, and will there be multiple challenges per day? Current design is only one challenge per 24-hour period. And the target time investment, that's an interesting gameplay question. I haven't seen anybody discussing like, oh, we want players to put 10 minutes or 3 hours or whatever in. Because we can change those numbers really quickly. And we could, for the daily challenge, maybe on a holiday, maybe the design team will make it really easy. Maybe on, during a week of high temperatures, they might make it, sand related. I don't really know. It's such an easy to tune thing that I don't have any more info on you that. Let's see. This one might be for you, Michelle. Does salty field affect silica mines?
Oh, thank you. I'm just going to, before you even finish reading that question, it's been like 3 days now I've been having this conversation in the Discord with everybody. It's the way silica has always worked is that it gets a green timer when it's by sand. So in the desert or at the ocean, because the ocean has sand on it. That was just how the game was created when it was originally created. The ocean has sand, it's a beach. But like lake water is just, it's not so much sand. So that was just how the game was made when it was first made. So ocean edge tiles give sandy and salty effects. and the desert gives just sandy. And sandy and salty are two different proximity effects in the game. So when in the description for silica, it says that it'll be green next to sand, which can be found in the desert directly adjacent to a desert tile or to salt water. That is a saltwater edge tile, which is ocean, but it's not always ocean because if it's just one tile, it's not an ocean. It's a saltwater edge tile. That is, that is a technical name for what it is. It's not an ocean. I don't know how to be more specific with that. I don't know why everybody has decided that they just want to pull hairs on tiny words and say that things that, that we're changing NFTs when we're not. That NFT, the Haunted Maze 3, never worked on sand mines previous to this bug. So we just fixed it because it was a bug. We didn't nerf an NFT. We fixed a bug. Everybody only seems to want bug fixes when they're not something they can exploit, but if we fix a bug that people are exploiting, then it's the end of the world and we've nerfed the game. We're gonna fix all the bugs, guys, the ones that you're exploiting and the ones that you're not exploiting. So they're all gonna get fixed in the end. All right. You can go back through all of the sale announcements, all of the descriptions of the NFTs. None of the Salty Salt Field nor Haunted Maze Zone 3 say anything about sand or silica. They all say salt only. And salt and sand are two different proximities. That is always how it's been. It was just a bug. Hopefully that clears that up for everybody. This has been like a 5-day conversation I've been having in the Discord.
Oh my gosh. Man. Encyclopedia Michelle. That's amazing. All right. Let's see. After that, Haunted Maze, I think you just addressed that. And there was a question. Can you talk about NFT upgrades? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. The design is, I'd say, like 80% finalized. There's still some usability questions, like the exact actions you're going to take to upgrade one. But in general, the idea would be that you, through challenges, maybe even through guild challenges, possibly through other things like daily play, you will, and through spending dirt, the game specific coin that we're going to make. Through those actions, you can earn upgrade materials, and they'll be different. Who knows what the final shape will be? We might call it like water, soil, and nutrients, or we might just call it red, green, blue. Like but let's just stick with colors for now because it's easy to think about. As there'd be red, green, blue upgrade materials, and of course some are going to be more rare than others, and there'll be different combinations to level up an NFT. So maybe to go from 1 to 2, it'll take some common upgrade materials. And then that NFT upgrade will happen pretty quickly, a few seconds. And then it'll just be, it'll say right there in the UI and right there in the game, it'll say, this is level 2 NFT, whatever. And then it'll have new effects. And you'll see on the upgrade UI as well as in game, you'll be able to see, oh, this was, 3% passive, whatever, boost to whatever. Now it's 5% or whatever those numbers will be. And the reason I'm being a little bit hand wavy is there's a lot of variables that might change about that. So I don't want to say like, and it'll affect proximities when, a month from now, somebody's like, no, upgrades will never affect proximities. So if you think of a aspect of the game right now that is a throttle, like run speed, grow times, things like that, craft times, those are the sort of things that will probably be affected in a good way by the NFT upgrades. So I hope that answers it. Like that's the utility behind it, right? You play the game, you like the game, you want to grow a particular NFT, and that's how you do it. I think it'll be really interesting. I don't know about you, Michelle, but you're only going to ever be able to get in your limited time on Earth as a human, so many upgrade materials, right? which means you're gonna have to pick and choose which NFTs to upgrade. And I think it'll be really interesting to see how the perceived value of different NFTs changes over time. Just in-game utility and stuff like that. People will be like, "Oh, there's only 5 level 20, Tesla coils, or maybe there's only whatever." So I think that'll be interesting. Hope that answers your question about NFT upgrades.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't have any other live questions though. I haven't seen any other ones in games or in chat aside from everybody still talking about Sandy proximity, which will hopefully end soon. Let's move on to the next section. I think we're going to talk about the sale item, which will be on sale and in store it'll be 2 o'clock my time. That's like 2.5 hours from now. I'll get the sale announcement out right after this town hall ends, and that is for a gingerbread house, which is an epic NFT. It is going to give 1 passive peppermint to the surrounding tiles and a 20% decrease in craft time for candy shops and lollipop shop NFTs that are directly adjacent to it. The supply for that is 300 as far as I know. Let me double check. The art is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Though I don't know if I shared any with Paul ahead of this AMA, so he probably doesn't have any. Yes, there are 300 of them. The price is going to be $250.
Nice.
I don't have any art handy either. I'm ill prepared for this.
Question from Dr. Heggie. Is peppermint stackable?
The passive peppermint, yes, just like with all the other stands. Like if you get 2 wheat stands next to each other, you get twice as much wheat. So yes, it'll be stackable. You can stack it with the corrupted peppermint stand if you want, if you really want to get a bunch of peppermint. I don't know if the 20% craft speed boost is, but I will find out for you before I make the announcement, and that information will be in there.
Okay. Interesting. Is it time for leaks?
Yes, we can move right into leaks. There's not a ton of leaks this week because it's an old content event next week. It's actually candy canes. Since we're getting close to Christmas now. I'm sure everybody could have guessed by the fact that we're selling the peppermint stand. So it'll be candy canes this week. There's not going to be any like craft requirement changes to candy canes. It's just going to have a star boost from 200 to 50,000. The stuff that's returning to standard value is apples, iron, oakwood, and rocking horse. So those are all going to go back to normal. And sugar is going to be cash boosted this week from, I believe it starts at 2,300 as a standard value, and that's going to be 6,500. The biome is desert. It's a desert south, so there will be an oil seep for everybody who needs an oil seep. That's something that we try to rotate every other week. There's going to be 1 riverside. It's going to be to the west, 2 mountainsides. So there will be a lot of shade on your candy cane town. And that last south side will just be plains. I will get an image of the starter town all ready for the announcement as well, but I do not have that handy. It's going to be 1 gas again. Trade time is 80 seconds for a standard trade depot and 40 seconds for an express depot. And I believe that's all I have for candy canes. Everybody should remember how to make candy canes. They're pretty easy to make. Should be a nice, easy week. Aside from all the extra shade cast by the mountains on your town. Should be nice. And then after that, we get new content, which I'm sure I will start leaking early next week because I'll be so excited. I'll try to hold off for as long as I can, though. Otherwise, they're going to start calling me Tom Holland.
I love the new art. It's so pretty.
Yeah, man, some cool stuff coming.
Well, it's been Relatively quick AMA, town hall, whatever we want to call it. 41 minutes in now. Last chance for
Does
questions.
anyone have any other questions?
Why just candy canes, homeboy asks. Why not any of the existing Christmas metas?
Well, we just did. What are we doing this week here? We're doing rocking horses this week. And then we've got 2 new content. The only other one that we didn't do is rocking horses. Or bicycles. Sorry. I was reading at the same time. But the new content does use those same Christmas buildings. The only other new Christmas thing that there was boom canes, and that's more of a New Year's thing, not a Christmas thing, so it's not this week. I don't know if that answers your question. So we did do the Christmas metas. There's one that we didn't skip because there weren't 6 weeks in December. If there had been 6 weeks in December, though, we would have thrown bicycles in there. Anyone else have any other questions?
Horses, yeah.
I had a good time with rocking horses this week. Those wages were tough, though. I definitely ran out of money a couple times trying to build my town up, and then had to slow myself down.
How'd you do that? How'd you recover from running out of money?
Usually have to sell a building. Regret having bought it in the first place.
Yeah.
And then it slows all of your production down, or start another side job real quick, build a bunch of cows, try to sell as much milk as you can.
Is that your go-to, is selling the milk?
Yeah, I have Fancy Barn NFTs, so it's easy to throw those down and get some milk going quick. Mr. Roboto, there is not an NFT reward this week. It's just Gala. The Blueprint reward weeks are probably going to be week 3 most months. So that'll be the week after this one. That'll be part of the new content, which I can't wait to tell everybody about starting next week.
Well, awesome. From Michelle, Ninja Surprise, thank you so much for being here this Friday.
No, thank you.
Yes, it's been a fun one.
Mr. Paul for running this for us. It makes things so much easier. Thanks, everybody. I hope everybody had an awesome town hall. Hope you have a great weekend. And we'll let you know when we push that live today. Remember, go to Gala Games, click subscribe, turn on your notifications, and be sure to join our stuff on Discord if you're not on there. Thank you so much. This concludes it. Bye, everybody.
Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.